What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Malik at Malik's Water Garden, and we're here doing an update on these Ryan Loricaria red lizard catfish. So these are L010A red lizard catfish, and I'm pretty sure you guys remember watching a very brief video with music in the background of this exact same footage of these fish spawning on March the 3rd. So about 2 weeks ago today. So these fish spawned on Monday and Tuesday of March, the first week of March, so March 2nd and March 3rd. I released a video on March 3rd, but this actually happened on March 2nd night. So this was happening, and they laid about three full clutches, actually, about 100 eggs in total. Uh, Throughout the night, the females kept going in there, and they ended up kicking out most of the eggs. So by the next morning, I found a lot of the eggs outside. I ended up collecting them and putting them into an egg tumbler, and all of them ended up going bad that I ended up collecting. But there was about 30 eggs left inside the tube, while what the male was still guarding. So I decided I'm gonna take him and the tube and put it into a breeder box. So I will show you footage of that in a bit, as well as the results. So I did remove. So what you're seeing actually right here is the second female. There's a female inside the cave already spawning. You're seeing her tail, as well as a second female that is somewhat halfway into the cave, and the third female that has a wounded back is sitting outside. So people always say these fish are peaceful, but in my experience, they are only peaceful during non-mating season. During spawning season, all bets are off. They're very aggressive towards each other. They often hurt each other. I've actually lost males for territorial battles. Females have gotten extremely badly hurt, like the one you're seeing here on the screen. Her back will heal. I mean, it's already healed now. But there is definitely a lot of aggression with these fish, and I'll put some b-roll footage here so you can see some of the other fish in this tank that have gotten wounded through territorial battles. Initially I thought I had 4 females plus this male plus the other 2 males I have in other tanks, but I just found out that I have 3 females in this tank, a juvenile male which got attacked recently, plus the male that is spawning in here. So in total I have 7 or 8 of these guys. I started with 13. I had 3 older geriatric males that ended up passing away through time, and I did lose one of my males through a battle. So that is 4 fish, which should leave me with 9, but I'm left with 8 or 7 or 8 right now. So I am missing 1 or 2 that are either in the tank or have died that I haven't found their corpses. So that's something to keep in mind. They are aggressive. So I have figured out how to alleviate some of that aggression, which is basically to keep 1 male per tank. And essentially, if you don't want to lose eggs, you should just keep 1 female per tank, and as they lay eggs, take out the cave with the male and the eggs, so that the female doesn't keep going back in to lay more eggs and end up kicking out all the eggs in turn, because I have lost quite a bit of eggs that way. So that's basically what I did. These caves are about 3/4 of an inch diameter. Water parameters 82 degrees Fahrenheit, or 81 degrees Fahrenheit, or 82 degrees Fahrenheit, and the TDS about 200 degrees. So that's all I did. There's nothing else different. This tap water, and this is the result. So this is exactly 2 weeks from the date. This is the 15th of March. 13 days exactly. These are some of the fry you're seeing on screen. There are about 10 or so out of the cave already, and there's about another 25-30 eggs left. So there was more eggs than I initially anticipated that had gotten saved by the male, and he's a really good dad, because all the eggs that didn't get kicked out he managed to keep from growing fungus and then viable, and then hatched out. So I'm very impressed with his dad skills. which is probably why all the females want to always mate with him. Even with all the other males in the tank, they've always wanted to mate with this particular male, even though he's one of the smaller males out of the group, which I found fascinating. Why they were always after him, but the fact that he's a great dad shows that the females knew something about him that that we could notice ourselves, you know. So this is always good to have more than a pair of fish. There's always a very big chance of one being a better father or a better egg layer or whatever. So that's something to consider. That's another fry right there in the corner. I'll try to put some arrows on these guys. There's one on the slate there. There's a couple on the ground here. It's hiding and stuff. I have pictures. I put them all in the back at the end so you can see all the fry that I ended up seeing, that I got pictures of. There's quite a bit of them that I didn't actually notice initially when I went and filmed them. But as far as feeding, these guys are they don't move. So I've had them right now. I went back and looked at them a few hours later before I started doing this B-roll audio. I really can't see any movement since the time I first filmed them. They're still like essentially the same positions they were in yesterday or the night of when I first filmed them, so Monday night or Sunday night. So that's basically the only thing I can say. So for feeding, you have to basically put enough food in there so that the water columns is essentially saturated with food, that they just find food and just suck it up through just breathing. So I'm feeding them spirulina powder, and I will show you that in the next video. So if you haven't subscribed, this is a great time to subscribe, and hit that notification icon so you get updated when that video gets uploaded. So that's basically it. I'm gonna feed them spirulina powder for the next coming days. When the dad comes out, I'm gonna take him out of the tube, out of that box, and I'm gonna leave them in this box for a few more days or a week or a couple of weeks, and then I'm gonna move them into a different breeder box, probably the German breeder ring, most likely, depending on how they do in here. I do have other things that I've used in the past that have worked with this type of fish successfully, other whiptails and stuff, so I might actually use that instead. Actually, I have buckets. I'll show you all that on the next video. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification icon so you get updated when that next video as well as other videos get uploaded. This is just basically a random video that just came about just because these fry are here now. The next video that's coming out today is gonna be the L46 zebra pleco video, which is how to zebra pleco. That is essentially getting edited. It's a bit long video, and I am going to try to edit it as much as possible to give you guys all the information and no repetition or whatever. So that's going to take a little bit of time to do that, but aside from that, it's almost done. And I'll show you some footage of the moms. And these guys are now, this is on March 15th. The wounds on the female that you saw initially, David, the wounds have healed. The other females are in here. There is a male or juvenile male in here that I have to figure out what to do with him, because I don't want him in here when I put the dominant male back, because they are going to fight. So that's essentially the update I have for you guys regarding these fish. I have some pictures of the fry at the end of this. I'll put some music behind that so you guys can check that out. And hope everybody enjoyed the video. This is basically day 4 of my quarantine. We are all on quarantine lockdown in Toronto, so everybody's here doing that, and hope everybody is staying safe out there and doing what they're supposed to do in terms of keeping this virus contained and mitigating the spread. Basically, there's a website. I'm not gonna actually say the words, but I'll put the link here. It's basically telling everybody to stay home. So do that, and the social distancing is great. And as always, I thank you for your support. I love you all. I'll see you on the next video. God bless.
by Malik.